Very good morning to you. What was your response to that news?
Well, it's a very exciting announcement that came in the past few days, and we understand that after the gazetting there's about a 30-day notice period where people can still make objections. So we're kind of tempering our excitement because you've got to believe the process is real, and if there are real objections that they will be attended to. But I'd like to believe that there's enough positivity, and even in the public process we haven't come across any substantial objections. A little bit of cynicism about it, but not objections. And so yes, we're very excited that the process has borne fruit eventually.
Now, I've spoken to you at the museum, and the incredibly powerful and disturbing stories of people who lived there is exhibited there. Tell us the response of this name change for people, and why keeping it District 6 is so important for them.
Well, when people were forcibly removed following the 1966 declaration of District 6 as a white group area, one of the kind of drastic steps that also happened together with the destruction of their homes and destruction of the community was the removal, the obliteration of the name. The name District 6 was taken away and replaced with Zonnebloem, and that was roundabout in 1970. And with that also was the breaking up of the community on the map. And so at the moment, what was previously District 6, part of it falls in the area that was renamed Zonnebloem, and part of it falls in the neighbouring suburb Woodstock. And so the community itself became fragmented. So it's an important part of reconstituting the District 6 community in this new time, when we're looking at restitution and reclamation and really bringing all of that together. And so it's going to be wonderful that the old District 6, where some people still lived after forced removal, and then the new District 6 where the returnees are living, they can all share the same address of District 6.
And obviously what happened there in the 60s led to some of the devastation that we're seeing on the Cape Flats today. So many of those families ripped apart, jobs removed from them. Who is going to be affected now? How does it play out?
So symbolically, I think for even those people who are not returning to District 6 but who still will continue to live on the Cape Flats, they'll be able to, in their, whichever way they do acts of remembrances, in their memorialization, they'll actually be able to go back to District 6. And we hope that this is just one step in terms of the longer-term memorialization of the district that the museum has been leading over time. And so we have some ideas for how that memorialization can happen, so that when all returnees have come back and all the houses have been built, there are still opportunities on the site for people to come back and do the acts of remembrance, even if they do not live there. And I think for those who are still on the waiting list as claimants, they are very excited that they're coming back to a place that is named District 6, the District 6 that, not quite what they remember, it's not going to be the same, but it's got elements of that. And I think for those returnees who have come back, the 138 families who've come back, they will finally have an address that they can use, District 6, that actually has a postal code as well, and some, validity and reality in this new time in South Africa.
And the fact that there's been action taken against the former Minister, Mashabane, basically she failed in her duty to do what is needed in District 6. Do you feel that there now is the political will to get this resolved, and to get it resolved as soon as possible?
There seems to be. I mean, I know that the current Minister, Toko Didiza, she delivered the plan, was it yesterday, no, the day before, on the 17th, which was the date that had been set by the court. And there was a meeting that she had with claimants also to bring them up to speed with what was happening on Saturday the 14th, which was a few days ago. And so there seems to be a lot of energy, a lot of focus. I think a lot of more work needs to be done in winning back people's belief, because people have been so cynical. Many people don't believe what they're hearing. But there is, I think, a strong enough element and political will to make sure that a restitution does happen in the coming few years.
And Bonita Bennett, thanks for keeping this issue in focus and top of the agenda.